All right, since I don't know, since people were talking about it earlier in chat, I'll make like a casual guide to data Vexen or something like that. I don't know, like a how-to guide. It's not that hard. It's pretty easy. So I'm just gonna take off all my broken accessories. In fact, I'm not gonna have any accessories at all. I'm gonna take off armor. I'm not gonna have any ribbons or anything like that. And I guess I'll replace all this with ethers, since you would, at this point in the game, probably just have ethers. I'm not gonna teach them the DM skip. I won't do that, but like casual version. And I guess party members will also not have items. And I guess I'll take off armor too. Let me see if I remember how to do it casually. I don't know. It shouldn't be too hard. Usually, when you get locked into like a speedrun strat, like you don't really know how to do anything else. Alright, that looks fine. So my recommendation would be, so this is all in Japanese, but if you're on 2.5, my recommendation would be to have 0 combo pluses on. I'm pretty sure you want guard break. Yeah, you want guard break. You can customize however you want, but you probably want Firaga in there somewhere. You want Decisive Pumpkin as your main Keyblade, and you want Bond of Flame on Final Form, because we're going to be using Final Form a little bit. Alright. In fact, technically, the way that I do it, like, you don't even have to use Final Form, and if you don't use Final Form, then you probably want Bond of Flame on your main Keyblade instead of this. You probably also want Comet. This right here. You want Comet. Oh wait, no, this is Duck Flare. I'm stupid. You want Comet. This is Fantasia. That's Flare Force. You want Comet equipped on Donald. I'm gonna go room save. If I die and I mess up, then whatever. It's whatever. I'm human. I make mistakes. Whenever I go into a fight, I usually, like, pre-select whatever thing that I want to be using before the fight starts. It's just kind of a habit, so I always just kind of have it right here. So that way, like, whenever I want to go into Final Form, I can literally just go up D-pad, circle, circle, or select, whatever key you use. Select, and then bam, you're in Final Form. Is it reflect at the very start? I'm trying to think here. How would I do this? How did I do this casually? At the very start? Here, give me a second. I'm gonna be a complete noob and I'm gonna experiment so that I can get the correct opening, because I want to teach the correct opening. Okay, that seems correct. Alright, I'm just gonna die now. Maybe. Maybe I'll die. There we go. Alright, so here we go. So, I'll try... Let me do the fight. Like, do the fight correctly, and then, like, I'll, like, stop step by step and explain, like, what I do at certain spots. Oh! Another thing. You should definitely customize the item that you're using. Don't be like me, because I make that mistake all the time, and I forget to do that. I'm glad I remembered this time. Well, I made a mistake. I didn't press the L1 button. It's kind of important. We're going to try again. There I was expecting to get Reflect because I have Reflect hotkeyed on square. There you go. So that's like the super easy casual way to beat this guy. He's like, I can understand why people have a lot of trouble with him, because a lot of people kind of assume that you have to deal with anti-Sora, and that can be really, really hard to deal with. But it's really easy to kind of cheese him using Final Form Firaga and everything. Or even just Firaga in general. Firaga stalling this guy like makes it super easy since he's so weak to it. Alright, so here, I'm gonna go step by step and kind of teach you what's happening at each point in the fight. So at the very start, I guess, is like the most technical part, because you want, like, there's a lot of things that happen like very, very quickly and within like a second that you kind of have to like you have to react to and make mental judgments on. But I'll try and explain as best I can. So at the very beginning, what you want to do is you also have to have Combo Master on. It's pretty obvious. I would assume that you have it on by now. But you want to do Reflect. I don't think you have to lock on, but I would lock on. Reflect, and then attack into a Guard Break finisher. So just one finisher. Right? And then you're just going to stay there, and you're going to watch Vexen move around, and then I'm going to pause, like, right after that, you do that. So, Reflect into combo, and then pause. He's going to swivel, or he's going to move, right? He's going to move around the arena, and then he's going to stop at a certain particular spot. You don't want to start your next combo, because the next combo that you do is going to break a shield. You don't want to start your next combo until he actually, like, makes a complete stop. This is so that you make sure all of your hits... This is so that your next combo gets all the hits in, and you want that to happen because you need enough damage to break the shield, and if you miss a particular hit of your combo, then you might end up short. So, right there, like, he goes behind me, and right about now is when I can start attacking. And bam, break a shield. Once you break a shield, you have a lot of time to actually get into final form, like a lot of time. So just like take your time and make sure that you do that, because he's just gonna sit here, for quite a while, and then finally he's going to resume his shields. So you have plenty of time once you break a shield for the first time to get into final form, or even just like using Firaga. But the way that I'm teaching it is final form because that makes things faster. So we'll go through that part again. I mean, like I said, that's like the most technical part, just breaking the shield at the very start. He swivels around, boom, boom, and you're in final form, alright? So, once you're in final form, you're going to be doing final form Firaga. Don't use the finisher. Whatever you do, don't use the finisher. Basically, the way that Firaga... so, I'm not sure if people have heard of the term revenge value and breaking out and all that sort of stuff, but basically, Final Form Firaga is special in that as long as you don't use the finisher, they'll just keep on taking the damage and get stunned, but they just won't retaliate. And that's due to, like, the revenge value being kind of masked by the Keyblade hitting him at the same time that the Firaga is hitting him. It's really, like, technical stuff. Honestly, we should put it into writing and make it easier for, like, runners to understand so that the viewers can understand it too. But basically, all you need to, TLDR, all you need to know is to not use the finisher of Final Form Firaga when you're using Final Form Firaga. So just do 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, like I do right here. That's 6 so far. So what I'm looking for right now is his HP right there. I can't really show on stream, but maybe I'll make text later. But basically, you see the little notches where they're like the green notches underneath the actual bar. That tells you how many bars there are remaining, obviously. But at a very certain amount of health, a very specific amount of health, is when he forces himself into his desperation move, and you need to know when that happens. Because if you don't see it coming, and you don't react in time, then you just immediately die, because he creates gigantic ice blocks, and they surround him, and you just get demolished by them if you aren't, you know, safe. And he does that, I'm pretty sure it's at 5.5 health bars, I want to say. I made a mistake with the amount of MP that I had. I guess I can't die in the ice block? That was weird. Couldn't you enable your mouse cursor? I'm not even sure if that would work. Properties. Yeah, the problem is, since this is a video capture device, I can't show my cursor, so you just kind of have to like use your eye to figure it out. So we're gonna do that again. I'm gonna go back in there. Alright, reflect, combo. He swivels around. This is a little weird. And Donald is dead. Alright, well we lost an ether, but we're still in there. Okay. So I guess next time I do it, I'll specify how many Firagas you should do, and then revert from final form. But yeah, so right there, you see how much health he has. He has 5 and like 3/4 health bars, right? And I'm not sure if I'm gonna get the next Firaga in time, but when you, the next Firaga is going to send him straight into his DM phase, because it's going to cross the 5.5 health, like, it's going to cross that threshold. So you immediately, you want a Firaga, and then immediately go into Comet to give yourself invincibility frames. Like right there. So now he's in his DM. And you're in Comet. So you have invincibility frames and you're totally safe. So what I would do is I would throw, you want to throw ethers immediately. You want to throw 3. 1, 2, 3. And then from here, you want to alternate between pressing triangle and using reflect. Hi, Zoe. So, this will make it so that Comet doesn't drain super fast. And so that you get your so that your drive increases, because you want your drive to increase, and you want the shield's health to be at basically 0. So, triangle, reflect, triangle, reflect, triangle, reflect. And then once the health is about like 0 from the reflect, and you see I just hit 5 drive, then you just kind of spam triangle until you are gonna get to your finisher, and then you use the finisher for Comet. Alright, so right about here, you still have iframes, but it's about to run out. And at this point, Vexen is in the part of the desperation move where he throws the ice blocks at you, and then he charges you with the ice blocks surrounding him. So what you want to do is you kind of want to be on the far edge, and then you want to be gliding like that, and then you want to be spamming. Comet. If Donald is dead, then that's pretty bad and pretty unfortunate. There probably is like a way to prevent Donald from dying altogether, and you don't have to worry about that. But sometimes he can die because of Vexen just being right on top of Donald, and then Donald just immediately dying. But just kind of hope that that doesn't happen. So once you're in your second Comet, you want to be at full MP again. So 1, 2, 3, and then just kind of tap triangle to elongate the amount of Comet. And then right here, he's going into the end of his desperation move, so the screen flashes, and then he comes straight up to you and creates a gigantic icicle. Basically, what you want to do is you want to be in Comet, and then when the gigantic icicle appears, you use reflect, so that the reflect will touch the giant icicle, and as the desperation move ends, it'll break his shield. Well, I kinda did it. I kinda did it wrong, but I got away with it. And then from there, you go into final form. I'll go back and do that correctly, so that we don't have any confusion. No, I'm just doing this just because I thought it would be fun, and people were talking about it in chat. Like how to beat Vexen, Data Vexen. Alright, so let's do that again. I'll make that a little bit more clear. I'll also, I guess this time around, I'll also, like, ensure that people know when to revert from final form, and when you revert from final form, you want to throw an ether. So, reflect, combo, boom, final form. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What I like to do is when I revert and use an ether, I want to make sure that I like stun him to get the next fire in, so like typically it's like a slap shot or an attack into fire. And then you check his health, he's right there, and then you use Comet. 1, 2, 3, triangle, reflect, triangle, reflect, triangle, reflect. And notice right there that like I didn't use the finisher until the limit gauge was at like the very, very end. So just try and maximize the amount of time that you're in Comet. And then jump glide, mash. Alright, Donald's dead. I'm kind of screwed. Or not. That's a way to... That's a backup strat in case Donald dies. There you go. Memorize that, so that way when Donald dies, you can just do that. My bad. Alright, let's do that again. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so just press triangle a couple times, and then the screen flashes. I guess right here is where you like press triangle for the final time. Giant ice block appears right there. Reflect. The reflect will hit him, the shield will break, and then from this point right here, you want to do kind of the same thing that I did before when I reverted from final form the first time, where I threw the ether and then did a sliding dash into into Firaga. It's the same concept here. You don't have to throw an ether. It's the same concept. It's just like stunning him and making sure that your Firaga hits him. And during the hit stun of that Firaga, or maybe you can do a couple of Firagas if you want to be absolutely safe. During that hit stun, you go into final form and then Firaga for the finish. There you go. So that is the tutorial. I hope you all got a little something out of that. It wasn't very organized. Then again, none of my tutorial, like the way that my brain processes information and then spits it out, it's not very organized, but somehow, some way it actually works out. I don't even know how I function in the normal human world, but there you go. I'll throw that on YouTube, I suppose. Hopefully you got something out of it. Show you how to do it without even using final form. So if you don't want to use final form, I guess you can just use Bond to Flame. And I think it's like the same concept,